Hi guys, thank you and welcome back to my channel. So this week we're going to go in and create this makeup look right here using the customizable ColourPop eyeshadow palette right here. Also we're going to go in and do a field review with the lip gloss collaboration with Iluvesarahii, and also a lip liner with ColourPop from Iluvesarahii, and blushes. So if you happen to like this makeup look right here, don't forget to follow me right down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel right down below. Ring the bell button right here for notification of next week's video. I post on YouTube every single Wednesday, also on IGTV every single Friday. And with that said, don't forget to follow me on all my social media at bella.c. That's now. Okay, let's get started. So let's start with this makeup look. So I did already go ahead and put on some concealer and light foundation. Also slightly do my brows for this makeup look because we're gonna do mostly eye focus on this makeup look with cheek and lips from ColourPop. And to start out, I did go ahead and create my own palette at ColourPop. So they do have an option for you to create your own eyeshadow palette. So you can pick like a small palette which is only $24, and it's coming this palette right here compared to the large one that is $45. That's gonna be like this size. So here is the small one and here's the large one. So the small one gonna give you about 12 eyeshadow or 2 cheek and 2 eyeshadow, and the large palette gonna hold 24 eyeshadow or 6 cheeks color or in different combinations. I also got some like cheek stuff from ColourPop, so we're gonna try that on later. But for this makeup look right here, we're gonna create the makeup look from the custom made eyeshadow palette. So I'm also gonna list all the color I have right down below or on the screen, so you know which color I picked from, because I have a really large category of all the shadows. So this is kind of like my favorite from that whole list, or what is available on that list, because some of it is not like available because a lot of people purchase them. But yeah, let's start on this makeup look. I'm gonna start out with the P. Louise base to make sure all my shadows stay on my eyelid. To applying the eyeshadow base, I'm just gonna use one of those Anastasia dual brush that come with the palette. And just to make sure I want all the pigment from the ColourPop to show up, that's why I use the eyeshadow base primer first. You don't have to, you can always skip the base, but lately I like to use eye primer a lot for every single look. So when I pick out my color, I mostly use neutral because I use neutral every single day. So I pick out majority of all the neutral that they have. I also bring in a little bit more pink, lighter pink, more powder pink, or more like dusty rose pink, because I think that all the dusty rose pink can be perfect for if you going out, you want a little bit more neutral. This light color, and the dusty rose color pink is kind of like mimicking your little bit more redness on your eyelid, and I think that's like create more like natural look rather than just more like brown all over. So a little bit of pink is kind of like warm up your skin a little bit more. And I also pick out a little bit more like metallic color right here in this area, so mostly more like a warmer color. Except this one is a little bit more cooler, and also go into like this color right here that is similar to more like oranges teal, so you can always put this like around the center of your lid to create a little bit more pop because it's more like metallic. And I was interested in creating a look with like teal color, so we might using this color today. And then black, you always need like a black color for your like tight line. And of course there's 3 different glitter shimmer that I also want to try. I'm actually gonna swatch this one right here to see how that's gonna look. And so that's gonna be one of the glitter. I'm gonna swatch this hot pink one, and this is called, you have to pick this one on the back to see which color, what's the name of it, and it's called Freebird right here. And when you touch with the glitter pigment, it's really loose. It also feels really hydrated, so just be really careful with it. So here is the color right here. It feels super nice. It's very similar to like the Tarte Beauty glitter, the glitter that she have in her palette. It does have a slight glide to it. It's really hydrating, so that's gonna create that's gonna make all the glitter kind of like fall off your finger. I'm not sure what's the quality difference between this one and the Tarte Beauty one. I would expect the Tarte Beauty one would be a little bit more higher end in glitter pigment, because all the ColourPop palette and color is very affordable, so they might using like a cheaper alternative for like formulation wise. So but everything in ColourPop is super affordable, and the pigment is actually a really good one. So if you're interested in purchasing, like starting your own kit, your own color, if you just interested in like playing around with color, I would recommend using ColourPop, because all the colors have a large range of color and they are really affordable. I think it's only like a few dollars for like a color pen. And the first color, just like usual, I'm gonna go in with this color right here, and it's called TBH, to be honest. So I'm going to use this color all over my lid as my first transition color. It's the most neutral color in the palette that I picked out. And one tap into the brush, this has a lot of pigment already. So I'm just going to make sure I tap up the excess, because it does have a lot of a little bit more fallout. And I'm just going to go ahead and go directly right there, right into my socket line. I'm also going to blend that inward towards the bridge of my nose. So that's going to be my transition color. And so far, just start noticing the color is pretty okay. It's not the highest pigment of neutral color. Like I have a better neutral, and this definitely have slightly more redder tint to it rather than more like brownish cooler tone. And it does have a lot of fallout actually. So here, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it does have a lot of fallout. So when you like tap into like a palette, there's a lot of fallout coming out already. So just make sure that you like dust off the excess once you're applying using this kind of pigment. I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other eye. And now with like a flat brush, this is a brush number 15. I'm just gonna go in with the same color TBH and go right underneath to create a shadow on my bottom lash line. And it's definitely look a little bit more redder, more like orange tone rather than more like a neutral brown color. And that color actually a little bit more warm. I'm gonna move the color next to it, and this color right here is called Conundrum. It is a little bit more cooler, so I'm gonna use that color to create a little bit more like a shadow rather than more like a warm lid. So using the same brush, I'm just gonna go in with the color Conundrum, and this color definitely is a little bit more cooler. So I'm gonna give you a little bit more like contour to your eye. It's kind of like a gray contouring for your face, but this is more like your eyelid. And this is a little bit more better for your eye contouring. So again, I'm just gonna create a shadow right onto my socket, because for my eye shape, you can't really see the socket that well, so I always have to make an illusion to create a socket in my eyes. So a good way to do that is to use like a cooler shadow, kind of like contouring, to place right into socket line. And because I want my eye socket to be really defined, and also gonna go in and cut my crease a little bit more later, so I want that socket to be as dark as possible. So when I cut my crease, you can really see that line when you do your cut crease. And now I'm just gonna go in with this color right here called Fineness. I'm just dipping and using the same brush with the color Fineness. I'm again just gonna go pat that color right on my outer corner and really define that crease. So when we cut the crease, it can show up much better. And I always felt somehow I always like afraid to go on too dark. So I always go in like really light-handed at first and then building up the color. That way you can have a little bit more control over the color and how much pigment you're applying to your socket. Just blend that upward towards your brows. And pull it outward a little bit to give you that lift. And to help you blend, just always have like a clean fluffy brush around. And you can always use that to do your edge blending, so everything doesn't look so harsh. And another trick for you too, if you have a little bit more difficult blending out the edge, you can always use like another brush, another clean fluffy brush, or just go in with that same brush and cleaning, dusting off the darker shade and go back into your first transition color, and that's going to be the color TBH for me. So I'm just going to dust off the excess, and I'm just going to use a fluffy brush and just blend right on top of that harsh line. Just blend again, blending upward and outward. That should help you blend out a little bit more easily. It's going to create more like that gradient color, that blending upward. So now I'm just going to go in and cut my crease using like a really flat brush, and with the P. Louise eyeshadow base from earlier, I'm just going to go in with a little bit or quite a bit to cut my crease and create that really clean line on my crease. With cutting the crease, just take your time. You don't need to rush with it. I usually like to draw on the top line first to see where that crease gonna lay, and then color in the rest from the bottom. And just make sure you open your eye sometime. It's easier to cut your crease when you open your eye and then you can see where the crease lay, because sometimes you can create like a weird shape with the cut crease, and then when you open your eye it's like wonky in a different like area. Usually my eye shape, my crease is a little bit more lower, so I always like to bring it up a little bit more higher to create that illusion that I have a little bit more larger crease or like a bigger eye. So that way when I kind of like cheat it on top a little bit, you can actually see the crease, or if I don't, when I open my eye, you just don't see the crease at all. So it just like disappear. So that's why I usually go in a little bit more higher into the crease of my eyes, so you can like actually see the color that I'm gonna put on a little bit more later. And now that my now that my lid is off, and now that my crease is off cut, now I'm just gonna go in with another color. I feel like I'm gonna go in with this teal color right here, because I always want to try this like a teal color. So this color is actually called Muscle Beach. So I'm just gonna pack this right onto my lid color to give that a little bit more like pop. So with my flat brush, I'm just gonna really dip into that color Muscle Beach. Now I'm just gonna really pack into where it's a little bit more opaque. And so for this color, it's not that much pigment, so I'm just gonna make sure I dig my brush in there a little bit more and really grab onto all those pigment. And so for this color, it's not as pigment as light, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pack on a little bit more like a few coat. So just make sure the color showed up. So that sometimes you just have to do that. It's just to pack on the color one coat at a time, and over time it's just gonna give you a little bit more like a solid opaque color for all the shade that is not that much pigment. But this color so far is super nice. I was curious about like teal color in like a palette, because they don't have a lot of those teal color in like a palette. It's definitely more like 1950s, 60s color. Okay, so now that I pack on all that teal, and that teal does take like a while for me to pack on all the pigment, because there's really not a lot of pigment in that teal. Maybe that teal is not like the greatest color to pick ColourPop because it doesn't have a lot of pigment. But so far the color is cute, but the pigment is really not there, so you do really have to pack on like layer and layer and layer and layer for it to like really showed up. And yeah, it doesn't have a lot of pigment in that blue or teal color. So next up, now that the color is in there, I'm now just gonna go in and deepen out my edges. So to do that, and now I'm just gonna go in with like more like a taper brush and go back into the color Fineness. Right on the tip, I'm just gonna go ahead and press that at the edge right here to really create that transition between the end and where that teal color meet. And using more like a taper brush, I'm gonna give you a little bit more control, just still keeping that like crease shade. And just make sure you slightly and lightly blend it inward to still kind of keep that shape but still define the crease. And with a fluffy brush again, just gonna go in right afterward and make sure you're blending out all the edges. And I'm gonna go in with the flat brush again and go in with the color Fineness again, just a little bit. And I'm just gonna tight line that, kind of smoke that out a little bit on my bottom lash line. so it's connected to my top lash. And now with the flat brush again, I'm just gonna go in with this like kind of translucent champagne-y metallic-y, because I feel like everything looks a little bit more better when you have a little bit more shine on the center. So I'm just gonna press that color right in there, and this color is called Liar Liar. So now with the flat brush with the color Liar Liar, I'm just gonna press right between where the turquoise meet with the color called Fineness. So I'm just gonna pop it right in there. Because this doesn't have a lot of pigment with the translucent shimmer, once you add it on top of the turquoise, it's gonna create more like a wet eye look. We're still gonna keep that turquoise color, but you're gonna add a little bit more like metallic shimmer right on top. It's almost kind of like creating a metallic turquoise shade. That already creating more like a wetness look, a little bit more shimmer right on top. Rather than on this side is everything a little bit more matte. And with a fluffy brush again, I'm just gonna go in and make sure I blend everything out. And now just to tight line, I'm gonna go in with the Morphe eyeliner pen. The color is called Midnight. So I'm just gonna use that pen and lightly tight line my top lash line. The easiest way to tight line with a pencil is just to lay your eyeliner a little bit more flat and just do little line at a time. And towards the end of your eye, the easiest way to do a wing is you can see where the end of the tail of the eyebrow is. You're just going to draw a line from that tail and straight up to the end of your eye and straight up to the tail of your brows. That's usually where your wing should lay. I feel like I'm just going to exaggerate this tail for today. And now that you kind of like pull that wing upward, now I'm just going to have to go back and connect that and draw kind of like a triangle. That's how you kind of create like a wing liner. Now I'm just going to go in and do the same thing on the other eye. And with that wing right there, I'm just going to go ahead and continue the tight line to my bottom lash line. And with a flat brush, I'm just going to go in and kind of smudge that line to create a little bit more softer tight line. And now I'm just going to leave my eye makeup right here. I'm just going to go ahead and go off camera to finishing up my complexion, because I think you already seen me doing complexion for like 1,000 times, and then we're gonna be back to do blushes and lips. So I'll be right back. So I am back with my foundations on and my complexion on. I'm gonna list everything that I used upon my complexion right down below, just like usual. So let's go on with the next step. That's gonna be lip. So as we move on to lip, I did purchase a few products lip liner from ColourPop also right here. And one of it is called 951. I think this is the collaboration with Iluvesarahii with ColourPop. And another one is called Another Round right here, also from ColourPop. So here is the two color, and I'm not sure you can see the color different. This one, top one is called 951 from my Iluvesarahii with ColourPop, and the bottom one is called Another Round. And I've been actually using this lip liner for the past few days, so they already been like kind of sharpened right here. So I think I'm just gonna go in with the Iluvesarahii. With the Iluvesarahii lip liner right here called 951. So for this makeup look, I feel like the eye is a little bit more dramatic, so I'm just gonna go in with more like neutral lips, just like usual, because I feel like if I'm gonna go more like a bold red lip or colorful lip, I'm gonna look like Mimi from Drew Carey show from like the 90s. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go in with more like a neutral color, and again this color is from Iluvesarahii X ColourPop Lippy. The color is 957. And so far with this collaboration, the formulation of this lip liner is super hydrating, and I actually kind of love the color also. And the color really stayed true to the color when it's come out. It doesn't oxidize darker like the G.R.W. Beauty lip liner does. And just like usual, I have like no lips, so I'm always gonna outline a little bit more extra on my bottom lips to create that little bit more fuller lips. And the lip liner is actually really hydrating. I kind of like it. And now we're gonna go in with the lipstick color to lining that a little bit more. So I'm gonna go in with the Shayla X ColourPop color right here, and the color is called Quickie. So it's more like a lighter nude color. So I feel like this can be perfect on the center with the combination with the Iluvesarahii 957. So I'm just going to apply that right on the center to create more like an ombre effect. And then using my finger, I'm just going to go ahead and press and blend everything out. And if I happen to like a little bit more, I'm just going to go in with my finger and dab. And next I want to move on to blush. I also got two different blush color right here. I think this is the collaboration with Pony Park, I think, with ColourPop. So this one right here from ColourPop, Cheek Super Sharp Cheek. It's called Sugar Coat, and it's coming in this package right here. And when you pop this open, it's coming this really cute blushes. And the other one that I got is in this packaging right here, also from Super Sharp Cheek Matte, and the color is called Bubble. When you open the box, it's also coming like this cute pink blush right here. And here is the color Bubble. You can see it slightly there right here. So here is the color Sugar Coat, and that's what is the indentation of the blush look like. It's super cute. It look like bubbles. So looking at this two color, I feel like this might be matching my skin tone a little bit too much. So I'm just gonna go in and use this color right here called Sugar Coat. And with my blush brush right here, I'm just gonna go ahead and dab a little bit, and I feel like it doesn't have like a lot of pigment either, so I'm just gonna go ahead and swirl a little bit more. To applying blush, I usually bring my blush up a little bit more higher and kind of blend in where I put more like bronzer in my contouring up on my temple and create more like a C shape to my cheek area. So I'm going to create more like a warmth right here to make my cheekbone pop a little bit more. And yeah, this blush is definitely more like a sheer blush. I'm just gonna go in with like a few layers because blush usually like the first thing to like fly off your face. And since this is so sheer, you probably have to like pack it in, just kind of like the eyeshadow. And sometimes I like to put the blush right on top to blend in with the eyeshadow look. Also, it's kind of like creating that like monochromatic, everything kind of like together on this area right here, rather than you seeing like disconnect with the eye and the cheek. You swipe a little bit of the blush color on the bone right here. It's kind of like merge everything together. And I also did get a few like glosses right here. So this one is the Iluvesarahii liquid gloss. When you open the package, it's come out like this. I think I used this on my last video before. And the color is called Glass Lips. And when you open, yeah, I used this one before. So only thing that I say about last video is I don't like the foot of this type of lip gloss. It's more like a brush applicator rather than like a solid dough foot, because when you push it into the gloss, everything get like gross and all spreading out like this. So I didn't like it that much. And the other one I got is actually from Shayla x ColourPop right here, and the color is in Lonzy. And when you open the package right here, it's similar to the Iluvesarahii one, but it's a little bit more warmer, slightly more pinker. And with the application, again, it's the same brush foot, which I didn't like that much. So for this makeup look, I'm just gonna go in with the Iluvesarahii gloss, and the one that is called Glass Lips. And yeah, I definitely don't like this applicator. It's all spreading out everywhere. It's super weird and gross. I love the gloss, I just don't like the applicator that much. I wish they just change it. Okay guys, so that's gonna be the finished makeup look using the ColourPop collection Build Your Own palette color. And I did went in and use Ardell lashes number 811, and again, everything that I missed I didn't mention on this tutorial gonna be right down below. First, let's go in with the eyeshadow. So with the buildable eyeshadow, I love that you can pick your own different color, and depends which size you want to pick. The smaller one is again $24. The larger one, like this one that I built, is $45 with 24 different color, or you can actually add in different blush color. I bought the blush separately from a different collaboration. But overall, the eyeshadow is, I wouldn't say it's going to be the best, depends on which color it is. So far I'm using all the neutral. Not all the neutral color is true to its color, so just try them out, I guess. Because this one that I used right here, it looked really skin-like neutral, but actually came out slightly more like a redder tone. And then the teal right here, which I use on the center, the color is super cute and I love the teal color, but then again the pigment is not really there. You really have to like pack a lot of layer and a lot of pigment for it to like really show up. So try around and playing around with all the color. I haven't get a chance to play without the pink color yet, but so far this one is one of my new favorite one. It's really light dusty rose color pink. I didn't want to put on the glitter for this makeup look because I think I have a lot of glitter makeup look already. And the black definitely have a lot of more pigment in there also. So again, the whole palette you can build it your own. You can pick like they have like a whole list of different colors you can pick from. But yeah, so it's more like a decent price. Okay, if you want to build your own palette, but not every single color, not all the pigment is there. So just again play around with a different color. Lip liner. So with the collaboration with the lip liner, the one that I picked was from Iluvesarahii lip liner, and the color I'm using is number 957. And the other one that I picked is was the name, what's this one called? Another Round. And I've been using this one a lot throughout the week. Ooh, that's the lashes right there. So I've been using this two color a lot throughout the week. The color is really great. The formulation is also really great. It's super smooth gliding. It's super hydrating. It's not like chalky or dry. And the color definitely stay true to its color. Not like the KKW Beauty lip liner. That's definitely more like sometimes it's oxidized much darker. But this color is stay true to what the color is. And I'm gonna list the price right here because I can't remember how much it is. So the price can be right here. Another one that I use that I kinda love is the Iluvesarahii X ColourPop lip gloss. The formulation actually really great. The only thing that I think I mentioned this many times is the doe foot applicator. Like this is really shitty. So I don't like that it's not like a solid doe foot applicator. If they change that, the formulation and everything gonna be great. Bitti X ColourPop, I think I pronounced that right. So the pigment is really sheer in here also. So I brought this one is Sugar Coat. It's a slightly more deeper pinker tone color. And the other one is called Double Bubble. And this one is super light too. So this one definitely not gonna show up in my skin. I might gonna use this for more like a highlight or slight sheen to my skin, but this one is barely showed up. So the formulation is super soft, but the pigment is not really there. So kind of disappointed with this one. I thought there's gonna be a little bit more higher pigment. You really have to swirl your brushes in there like a lot for it to pick up a little more pigment. So the blush is really, I don't feel like it's worth it because it's really sheer. And yeah, so this is going to be the makeup for this week. If you happen to like this makeup look or like any other products mentioned this week, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel right down below. Ring the bell button right here for next week notifications. I put on YouTube every single Wednesday, also on IGTV every single Friday. And don't forget to follow me on all my social media at bella.c. Let us know. Okay, I'll see you next week. Bye bye. Just have like a lash right in here and I kind of like blow on it. I'm not sure where it's flew to, so I'm kind of like have a lash that went MIA. I bet it's gonna like stick somewhere and then I'm just gonna walk around with like a lash on my shirt or something. But I guess I was having to like grab another lash to slap it on. So now I'm like missing a lash right here. So one of my favorite boba tea is from like Thai tea, but the worst thing about Thai tea is kind of like stain your teeth a little bit, which I hate, but it's so good.